Hi, Chris Stead here, technology editor at finder.com.au, and today I'm reviewing a 60 litre companion portable fridge. This is a two-way portable fridge that offers 240 volt mains connection or a 12 volt DC connection to your car battery, solar panels, things like that. It runs off an LG compressor, comes with a 3-year warranty, and all signs so far are pointing this doing a little beauty. Right, so it's a pretty nice, I guess, run-of-the-mill summer's day here in Sydney at the moment, about 25 degrees. I guess what you might expect on any given camping trip, really. Definitely not extreme weather, but I do have direct sunlight on the companion 60 litre, which I'm currently putting through its paces. Let's take a closer look. So as of the time I've started filming here, this has been sitting out in the sun just for about 5 minutes. I've just powered it on for the first time. It had a starting temperature inside of 22 degrees, and I'm trying to go put that down to -20 just to time how long that takes. Now, it's not how I would sit it if I was out camping. It's in direct sunlight. I would have it in some sort of shelter, but already that metal casing is really feeling neat. Like, I can barely touch that after 5 minutes. It's picked up the heat so quickly. So it's going to be a good test to see how well it can combat the external temperature. Not much in the packaging here, just the 240 volt cord that got plugged into the wall over there, and a car charger, which looks like it's about 1.5 meters to 2 meters long. The screen's flickering there on the video, but it's not flickering in real life. It's a pretty good display panel actually, really easy to read, a lot of good information on there, easy to touch. One thing I haven't been impressed by is how loose these clamps are. Look at that. So it's not exactly pulling the lid down, giving it a good clamp inside. I realise this is going to time a little bit, but I've just got some water in there to see if it freezes. Got a really nice thick seal though, and it recesses in substantially, so this could counteract the fact that the clips themselves aren't exactly that great. Alright, well, we'll see how it goes, hey, and we'll come back and take a closer look in a bit. Actually, I'll just quickly talk about the handles here. They can be used as tie-down points. They are pretty firmly secured, but not so great on the hands. You know, there's some much nicer handles out there. At least they've got a very low profile, as you can see there. So, you know, they're not recessed, but they're not too bad. It's going to pack pretty easy into the car. It's not going to catch on too much. Alrighty, so we're about 40 minutes since I turned it on. There's still nothing in there except for that tray of water, so it's really got to do a lot of work to get that temperature down. We're currently sitting at -11 after 40 minutes, down from 22 in direct sunlight. Lid's baking hot, so it's performing at the moment. Alright, so we've just reached the hour mark here and we've hit our temp. So that's come down, what, 42 degrees in an hour. The ambient temperature is 23 according to Google at the moment, and so that's a you know, it's a 43 degree drop on the ambient temperature. That's in direct sunlight, and as I said, the roof is really hot, so it's really getting that sun right now. I can barely touch it. So that's pretty impressive. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll it over into eco mode. There's 2 modes on this fridge. You've got your standard mode, which is just powering it full draw for what it needs. You're going to stick it on eco mode, which is a low power draw mode to reduce consumption when you're on the road. I'm going to stick it into that and bring it back down to a more useful freezing temperature of around -3, and we'll see how it can stand hanging out at that temperature. Alrighty, so it's about 2 hours now after I started the fridge, and for the past hour I've just had it see on eco mode, asking for it to be at -3 degrees. I've got the sun belting down on it. It's warmed up another couple of degrees now. It must be about 25, 26 ambient. Not a cloud in the sky, direct sunlight. It's happily sitting on -3. It has been the entire time. I've seen it flick to -2, -4 a couple of times, but not really. The compressor's not even on. It's happily just holding its temperature there with the internal insulation coming on and buffering itself every now and again, but not too bad. Noise doesn't seem too bad. I'm not sleeping in a quiet campsite right now in the dead of night, but it doesn't strike me as being awfully loud, and I can't imagine you'd be able to hear it unless your head was right next to it. But yeah, so far I'm impressed with the performance delivering. Just a quick look at some of the other parts of the fridge that I haven't covered yet. You can see down here you've got your air vents that go through the condenser. That's where your airflow needs to come through. It's quite low, and so is the control panel. So that's going to maybe affect your ability to operate the fridge when it's packed into a four-wheel drive and a slide tray, or if it's packed around a lot of stuff. That's something to consider. You can't reverse the lid on this fridge like you can on some of the other models. Therefore, you won't be able to have much chance of, I guess, moving things around to fit your needs. The power is only on the one side down here as well. Some models have power on both sides, so you can spin it around that way. The lids itself, I've taken you through the clasps already. Just want to take you inside here. You got the big basket here. Now it's all just one basket. There's no drain plug in there either. It's worth noticing. And this has got really big mesh, especially down the bottom here. Really quite sizey squares there, which don't take a bottle of wine, for example, or a bottle of water without it falling over. And it's big enough that things will fall through if you try to pull it out. Obviously, so no dividing compartments here either. So you're looking at one big zone. You know, that's perhaps a hallmark of the budget range, but still, it's just a bit of metal mesh. I like to think that they could do a little bit better there. The lid does stand upright though perfectly, and if I spin around here, you'll be able to see it stands way back from the edge, so you can pull that basket in and out, even though you can't remove the lid itself for cleaning. It does say it comes with a soft close lid, however, I have noticed that it doesn't really soft close in the traditional sense. It's a bit hard to come down, it doesn't just fall down, so there's that, but it does bang at the end there, but not enough to concern yourself with. With anything in life, you get what you pay for, and a companion 60 litre portable fridge is definitely on the budget spectre of the price range. At $899.99, I've seen it as low as about $730 in most of the retailers. That's definitely at the higher end of the budget range, but it's definitely still in the budget range. When you take that into consideration, it's hard not to be impressed. The LG compressor is providing really good performance here. I was very impressed with all the tests that I put it through. It definitely cools as you would hope it, and as it expects. The metal exterior is definitely tough and robust, making it easier to pack as well, because it's got quite a low profile. Even though the handles aren't recessed, they are quite small. You can easily slot this in and out. From there, the flexibility gets a little bit less enticing. You know, you've got the control panel and the grille here quite low, which makes it hard to access while it's packed in your four-wheel drive, and it potentially impact airflow depending on how you place it. Because you can't have a reversible lid on this model as well, you can't really change that around. You're stuck with the way it is. And on the feature phone, it is definitely low. I like the eco mode, that's fantastic. And I like the LCD screen, it's really good as well. However, you're not getting a USB port, you're not getting Wi-Fi connectivity, you're not getting bottle openers or any of those kind of little fringe benefits that you get with the higher end models. And some of those things nowadays, you'd like to think, like USB port, really that hard to put in nowadays? You'd like to think they'd be able to do it. The only other major complaint I've got is with the basket inside. I find the mesh is too wide. I think they could have tightened it up a little bit. It makes it hard to balance bottles on, and smaller things can fall through it when you pull the basket out when you're trying to organise your food. I think they could have also supplied different zones in those baskets, or potentially two baskets that were layered to allow you to slip them out and slip them back in and have your food better sorted. These are the type of things you get when you spend a bit more money. But when you're looking at something in that under $1,000 range in the portable fridge market, the companion 60 litre has to be looked at, because the performance is really solid and the design is sturdy. Definitely worth taking a look at. Now, if you want to read my full review, I'll go into a lot more detail about this. Check out the finer.com.au website. We've also got an extensive buyer's guide on how to choose the best portable camping fridge for you, so make sure you check that out as well.